Hello everyone. So today we are going to just be doing some improvements and some fixes to our AI before we get working on like an actual shooter AI. So first thing I want to point out here is this response that we have is just not, it's definitely not good. It's not as fluid as you'd want it. It works, but it's just very wonky and just completely conflicts with moving to the player for what we would want. So, first of all, what we're probably going to do is, instead of protecting ourselves against falling and bumping with, for example, just raycast and using movers and stuff and turning this off, we are going to actually use this as a form of movement to protect ourselves from falling and bumping. And I actually went back and looked at some of my older examples of AI from the beta that I had never finished, and I found that the methods I was using then are a lot more effective than the ones I'm using now. So basically, this whole dampening thing that we had set up here and the whole rotating thing, if we actually did that with the puppet interface for walking, instead of like move forward or go backwards and go forwards, we would have a better response. I'm actually going to show off that older AI here so I can give you an idea of what it looks like. Now this guy, he is more of a, he's unfinished, so he doesn't have like the actual shooting mechanics like he does, but the bullets don't exactly work as intended, and his aiming is not finished, as I wanted the ability to aim up and down, but in order to do that, you have to do math, like I will show you. We basically end up with a line that goes to like where the player is above the puppet, and then we want to get like the actual line that we're going to shoot, which would be this. So we have to get the angle between with this triangle that we have here, and in order to do that you need inverse trigonomic functions, but that's kind of getting out of the point. We don't have those in Dreams as of yet that I'm aware of. So this guy, he runs away from stuff like walls. He doesn't have the best of AI. He only has one raycast instead of 3. So he can fall off, but this is a much smoother looking method of actually getting a puppet to walk away from death holes and stuff like that. And the way I accomplish this here is, if I go ahead and scope in, why is there a group? Oh, yeah. Okay. So if I go ahead and scope in and open the puppet logic, there's a lot here. I tried to stay organized, but it is very messy. But in the movement AI section, we have a roaming section. And in here, I basically have a movement sensor. And I have it set to local space. And we're getting the X direction and the Z direction, which is left and right and forward. So basically it's getting a point in space from the actual point, like from how you're pointing, depending on how the puppet is facing. For example, this is forwards and backwards, and this is left and right, and it gets the actual like position data that it needs for that. And then we are also adding our tag, which is positioned basically right here. We're adding these two positions together, and we get a position to walk towards using our walking movement chip in here. There's a lot more stuff in here. Most of it is pretty not necessary, but I have a simplified version that we're using. But this is what allows us to walk to a position. So we're going to be using that and a combination of raycasts, which are laser scopes. In this case, in this example, there was only one, but we want to get 3 so we get a more accurate and a more safe AI, because this guy, as you've seen, he's already fallen off. Like, he takes the same route and he falls off. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of him, as well as his bullet here that doesn't work technically. Then we're gonna go back over to our puppet logic over here, and we're going to be modifying our Wander AI. I believe, yes, I think so, yes. And we're going to be modifying this movement system we have set up to when we're going to delete all this up here, and we're only going to have like, well, no, we need this for like the roaming part, so like randomly turning and stuff like that. So what I want to do is just modify our protection here. So I'm going to add move this movement chip over. I'm going to add a button or switch. I always get the names mixed up. There is no button, just switch. And we're going to name this protection active. And we're gonna go ahead and wire this up to a NOT gate. Actually, yeah, we're gonna rename it to protection not active. That way we have one less gadget. I mean, names don't really matter, but it just helps to understand what things are. So this is going to be on by default. And what we want to do in our protection microchips, we need to add another case, because we want to be able to go left, right, and forward, not just left and forward. I believe that's what we have it set up to right now. Well, technically, one of them is one direction, the other one is another direction, but since we want to be able to move backwards in a direction, we are going to be, we have 3 states, left, right, and backwards, and this is just left and right, so we're going to set it up to do that instead. So we're going to go ahead and delete our AND gates, and as well as our keyframes, I believe. Yeah. And we only need this stuff for our random stops and stuff like that. I don't want to get into that too much. So we're going to go ahead and delete these 2 keyframes. And once we've deleted those 2 keyframes, we are going to, let's see here, get an AND gate out. And this is going to be going backwards, so we want to have nothing. We want to be able to, if we are going backwards, we want our front raycast to not hit anything, but we want our side raycast to hit something. And if we are, let's see here. if we have our left raycast not hitting anything, we want to move to the right. Let's go ahead and we're going to set this up. Basically the same 3, except we're shifting it. So now we have the not for down left and the positive for everything else. And then we are going to get another AND gate and the NOT gate for our right, and the NOT, and then the outputs for everything else. And then we want a just in case another AND gate, and this is gonna be a NOT gate from everything. So if there's nothing in front of us at all, then we are going to also go backwards. Alright. And now we need our keyframes. And we're just gonna make a keyframe as a placeholder for now, because we need to get the puppet positional movement logic out. And since I am doing this, since this is a tutorial focused on this, I might as well just make a new version of this. It's not too difficult. And in here, we are going to have our, quite a bit in here, actually. And we are going to, first of all, we need a tag. And this tag is going to get our position in the world. And you can either leave it named as tag, or you can name it like enemy or something like that if you want other sensors to find it. But in this case, we're just using it for position, so I'm going to leave it unnamed. And then I'm going to go ahead and move the gizmo into the center of our puppet. And I'm also going to rotate it, but I'm not 100% sure if this is necessary or not. 90 degrees, so Y is pointing up, and Z is facing forward, and X is left and right. Alright. And once you have that placed correctly, go ahead and head back into your gadgets menu. Sensors and input, and we are going to get the movement sensor. And we're not actually going to be detecting movement, we are going to detect local space. And this is going to get our directions that we had talked about before. And we want to get some switches as well, and we're going to name these as so. Left, right, and backwards. Gonna go ahead and make it so backwards is in the middle. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off all of these by default. And I'm going to get some calculators. And these are going to multiply our values from our movement sensor. So it'll turn on basically. So we're going to get the Z for backwards. I'm going to plug in the on-off from our backward switch into the calculator. Now we have an issue here where basically we need to go backwards, but this is getting our forward position. So we're going to make our backward switch, the off value is going to be -1 and the on value is going to be 0. And this also creates another issue, but the thing is we can't do this with the way we want it. We can't have on being a negative value for some reason. So we are going to have this microchip on, not microchip, but switch on by default. So it's at 0. And we're going to have to do the same thing for left as well, because left is also a negative value technically, because right is the direction in X. And this is going to be on by default, and right is fine this way. And we're going to go ahead and copy over these calculators, and then we're going to plug in the X for the left and right, and then the switches into their calculators, right? And this is basically going to get the position that we want to move to. So this isn't really positional movement. I'd say this is a puppet or position-based protection. That's more like it. And now we want to get a, I think it was a follower, I want to say. You know what, actually, just let me double check. It might have been a follower. No, it was a look at rotator. Yep, because we want to get the rotation that we want to go, not the position, because we already have the position. And we're going to set everything in here to 0%, 0 speed, 0 dampening, 0 strength, so we can't rotate. And then set the max distance to 0.1 and the minimum distance to 0.1. That way it's not looking for tags at all. And then on our third port, we are going to hook up all of our calculators into target position. Alright. And what we want from here as well is we want scene space direction. And that's going to give us the direction to go into. So go ahead and get a... Let's see. Oh yes, the puppet interface, which is in gameplay gear. And we're going to hook up, I believe, directly into walk. Yes. Scene space direction. Oh, you know what? Yeah. Wait. Yeah, we definitely need to strip the up and down values. That's what we were doing in there. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So we only want A and C, in this case X and Z. These should really be labeled as that, but they have rotation and that's labeled as X, Y, and Z, so they're like, let's not make duplicates. So the thing is with rotation, it's not actually rotation that you're feeding in, basically. So we're gonna do sticks, and A is gonna go into X, and then C is gonna go into Y, and then the output here is gonna go into walk. And then we need one more switch, and then this is gonna turn on protection. So have it turned off by default, and turn on protection. And we're going to go ahead and plug this into the power port of our splitter. Okay. And now we need to animate these. And right now we only have fall protection set up, but we're also going to be doing bump protection as well. But we needed to get this set up correctly. So let's go ahead and start with our Ford. And I'm just going to animate this to turn on protection first. And then I'm going to copy this over so we have a base to start from. And this bottom one is going to go backwards as well. And we're going to go ahead and just plug everything in. Alright. And then we get our let's see here, down left, so we want to turn right, or go right. And then our middle one, we want to go backwards. And then our right one, we want to go left. Alright. And now he should have fall protection enabled, but we also need to turn off the protection not active with these keyframes. I should have done that when before I copied them. Okay. Let's see. Oh, well, he's using the attack or enemy AI portion, so we're going to go ahead and turn off the player for now. And that's not good enough. I'm not 100% sure on what's happening here. Is he turning the wrong way? Okay, so all of these are turned off. Well, we have 2 of them turned off. So we might want to trim these AND gates down a little bit. So instead of having 2 ports, we want, or instead of 3, we just want 2. So let's see here. So I'm going to try just 2 ports, and I'm going to plug in the opposite values into just B and see if that works. Because before I had it set up so it was only 1 raycast. Okay. Alright, so I think what is causing this to not work. Okay, so he backs up. So he just backs up, and then right here all of these are turned on, so he is hitting, and then he's probably gonna hit the right one is gonna go off, and maybe the front one. So we're telling him to go backwards and to the left. But is he going to the left? That's the question. No, he goes right. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the movement for now. I'm going to mess with this and see what happens. Does he go left? Okay. No, he's not turning left. Why is he not? Oh wait, no, I turned this off. Oh, he goes right. Okay. Wonder why that's happening. Oh, you know what? Forgot a crucial step here. Crucial step. This isn't getting the actual, like, point in the scene, I believe. So if we... Let me just, get an output here. Number displayer, that will work. I think... Why do they have to get rid of the debugging tool? I hate it. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's see here. I just want to see what this is. If we move him around... Said if we move him around, nothing happens, but if we rotate him, it does. Okay. Yep, we need to add these to our position. I completely forgot about that. I don't know how I did. That was a complete mishap on my fault. So I even set up the tag for it, so I'm not sure. I'm probably just tired. Okay, so now that we have these calculators, we made 2 new calculators for addition, and we're adding our position to the Z and X direction, and we're getting our position by splitting the transform output, the scene space transform output of our tag, and we're using the translation, and we're going to plug those into our multiply calculators instead of our direct direction output. And now this should work, I believe. Or at least it should work a lot better than when I had it. I'm not even sure. No, he's still spinning. Why is he still spinning? I really wish there was an easy way to do this, to debug, but there really isn't. They totally screwed over people by removing the debug tool. There used to be a debug tool, and now there isn't. I don't know why. So, oh, you know what? I think... No, that can't be it, is it? No. Because we turn it on and off. Yeah, so I don't think that's it. Just, okay, just go really fast, please. Instant strength and instant dampening. Where are you? That doesn't seem right. Okay, well, I'm going to turn off the movement and then see where you move. That is completely wrong. You're trying to go there, but that's not. That shouldn't be right, is it? By all accounts, this should work. Unless this tag's location is completely wrong. Okay, that's weird. Okay, how is this working out right now? Okay, I'm just adding the direction. Oh. Oh? No, I'm just multiplying by -1. Oh. Oh. Yes. Man, I must be really tired right now. So we need to add the direction afterwards, after we multiply, not before. I want to keep this debug cube because debug cube. Okay, so just we need to switch these. We only need one calculator. And we're going to go ahead and plug in our old ports. So the Z... No. The Z into forward and backwards. Or I mean backwards. And then X into left and right. And then we're going to delete one of these calculators. And we need the other one. And go ahead and delete all the wires from the calculator. Then over on the end, we're going to go ahead and plug in our translation from our tag, and then we're going to plug in the outputs from all of our multiply calculators into our add calculator, and then that's going to go ahead and plug into our look at rotator and our debug mover instead of the direct output. Just really tired today. Okay. Why do I have multiple outputs? I just want one of them. Yes, okay. There we go. Okay, well he's still spinning, but at least he's spinning in place. This is technically what we want. What happens if we turn off local space? I mean, that's right, but I don't believe it will work properly if he rotates. That's the thing. So let's just try this. Local space, and we'll move him a little bit closer, and we're gonna go ahead and turn back on our protection over here, if it's not already. Oh, no. Turn that on, so our movement works. Okay, well, I'm going to turn off our random stop, maybe? That seems to have worked. I mean, he doesn't technically get around it, but he just decides to go somewhere else. I don't think it's going to change, so if we maybe do this... What about this? Okay. Now what happened? No. We haven't even set up the enemy part. Hold on. Let me just check how long I've been recording. About 32 minutes. Okay. So, I don't want to drag this on, but this is getting pretty long. So, let's just set up the protection for bumping. Which is basically the same thing that we did over here. So we could actually... No, I'm not going to do that. We need to just pretty much reset all of this in here. And we are going to just basically mirror this. So go ahead and do that. You can follow along. I'm going to try to go as fast as possible. And we want... yeah, okay. But basically what we're doing is reversing the order of output from our NOT gates over here and replicating it over here. So instead of wanting them to be off, because instead of wanting them to be on in order to prevent, or instead of wanting them to be on to prevent falling, we want them to be off. So basically we want, if they turn on, we want to move away, because then we are going to, you know, bump into a wall or something. So let's go ahead and set this up. Turn on protection. We want that. And we want to turn off protection not active, because it is active. And then I'm going to copy this 2 times. This keyframe is going forwards or backwards. This one we want to go to the left. And this one we want to go to the right. Alright. Gonna go ahead and hook up the AND gates. Alright, and now he should also have protection against bumping into walls and such. Let's try it with an actual wall first, and then I want to try it with that fence, because I also found that in this scene, the fence was also a big issue for him to rub up against. Alright, that seems to be working pretty well. So let's go ahead and try our fence over here that I was talking about. I can probably save this as a remix, because this is, yeah, so I'm editing the scene. So I'll probably save this as a remix and show you how it was behaving before. Actually, I might not even need to do that, because there is version control in Dreams, which I'm very appreciative of, which is, it's pretty amazing. Okay. Alright. It's definitely improvement from before. Before he would just rub up against the fence. As in just keep going forward with it. But he does seem to have some issues with it still. Why isn't he going backwards? Bump protection. Down forward. Oh wow, he isn't touching it with that. But he is touching down left. Are we telling him to go left? No. I want him to go right if down left is touching it. So right is turned on. Okay. Oh man, I really wish... oh man. I'm gonna delete this and then turn this off so he can't move. Yeah, that is definitely the wrong way. We want him to we want him to go right. So what is causing this issue here? Whoa. Okay, so this is set to 0, 1, so we might want to, I don't know, flip these around? Flip left and right around? In that case, we'd want to do it up here as well. So, yeah. Need to... I'm just gonna implement a quick fix here, because I already have them animated. So I'm gonna multiply the switch of right I'm gonna multiply it by -1, so we get a negative to go left, and then we're gonna go ahead and output the A from this calculator, and then I'm gonna do the same thing for left, because we want, since if this is wrong, then this is surely wrong as well, right? Because it's the other direction. Okay. Okay, and then I turn this off, correct? Yeah, let's go ahead and plug this back in. That is a much better behavior. Let's see if this works with our hole over here as well, or if we also mess that up. Oh, that is much better. That is much better. He does not get as stuck on it, but what about... I want to test this, because this before seemed to be working fine. With the hole, I mean. Just get that hole in there. Yeah, oh, okay. It was messed up before, okay. Well, I had it backwards. So right is negative in Dreams, and left is positive, which is not normal. Dreams likes to be weird, doesn't it? Okay, so yeah, this is we have a much better protection against falling and bumping into things now, and we would probably want to implement this in our enemy microchip over here. So I'm going to go ahead and try to do that as quickly as possible. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to, instead of this button turning off movement, because we don't want random in here at all, so we are going to go ahead and turn this off, this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. We are going to go ahead and output this into a NOT gate over here. And that is going to go into our AND gate for our positional movement into a new slot. So there's 3 slots now. It's not A or B, but C. So now when our protection, or actually we don't even need a NOT gate. This can just get plugged right in. Right? And now we'll turn that off if we are protecting ourselves against falling. And we also want to delete our old one over here. Alright, and now let's go ahead and turn on our player, and if they're hidden in your scene, you want to turn off preview invisibility, and we're going to turn him back on. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and delete this cube. We don't need him now. I'm going to place our enemy on the other side. He can see our player. Oh man, he still falls in, doesn't he? Okay. Well, let's see if we can fix this. Protection not active. You know what we could do is we could smooth the outputs like we did before. So he is forced to go a little bit more than what he would normally for the protection. So what we can do is get a signal manipulator out, and we're going to make it have a smooth fall. Let's do 0.2, and we're going to go ahead and plug in our turn on protection into that, and that's also going to go into our power of our splitter. I'm going to delete the old cable, and then we're going to do the same thing for everything that plugs into A. So we're going to go ahead and make a copy, and right now I'm going to just try one. I'm going to go ahead and plug all these multiply calculators into our signal manipulator, and this signal manipulator is going to go ahead and add into our add calculator for our position to go to. Alright. Now let's see if this works. Oh, a little bit better. So why don't we try making it smooth fall even more. So 0.6. Oh man. It really shouldn't. Okay, so right now I want him to move forward. So why isn't he moving forward? Where is he attempting to move? Let's see here. Oh man, why did they have to get rid of the debug tool? Okay, so we are attempting to go right. Just right? Or are we bumping into something as well? No. Okay, so we are attempting to move right. So why don't we try for fall protection? Going forward as well as going backwards. Not sure if that's the right thing to say. What I mean is we are going to move forward with our puppet interface if we're trying to protect against bumps from the sides. Okay, go ahead and get this a new switch out, and we're gonna hook it up to go forwards, and then we're gonna animate our left and right keyframe for fall protection to turn this switch on. Okay. Oh, would you look at that? No, it was so close. So close to working. I'm gonna try moving this bench out of the way. See what happens. No. Why don't we try making down left and down right. I'm gonna move these into the puppet. And I'm gonna make them as accurate, or as much to the left and to the right as I can get them. Alright. So let's try moving it about 20 degrees in the other direction. Not the other direction, but towards the direction that we want them to detect falling. And this should give us a more accurate vision of our world. Well, he's trying to go the other way now. There we go. Okay. So, yeah. That was just some improvements, some bug fixes. Let's go ahead and try playing. See if he can get us. Of course, this is still a bit awkward, but it's a lot better than what we had before. It's a little bit more smoother, and he doesn't actually like fall into the pit and then jump out somehow. Alright, I know some of you may be disappointed that we didn't get to do a shooter AI today, but I still really need to look into that. I mean, I do have the experimental one. Oh man, he totally just fell backwards. We might want to add in another raycast backwards and make him go forwards with it. Oh man, I don't really have that much time left right now, but yeah, shooter AI, I really need to figure out how to make him aim properly up and down, because that's gonna be like a really big advantage. Also, I want to implement some kind of like difficulty system for like how accurate their aim is, and so on and so forth. Really like how intelligent I made their like positional thing. They'll try to go to your last known position, you know, try to find you like that. Let's see if he can get over the hole this time. Oh, no, he still falls backwards. Why don't we... I know something that we could try really quick before we leave. I'm going to try to just add 2 more raycasts in the same position, and I'm going to go ahead and plug these into the same ports. And we're going to go ahead and try to extend our vision a little bit more. Excuse me. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and rotate these a little bit more backwards so we get a vision behind us a little bit. Let's do another... let's do 30 degrees, yeah. Let's try that. Well, one of them didn't go. Oh man, it's a bit off, isn't it? It's a bit disappointing. I do 30 degrees on our left side and about 38 degrees on our Right. Now let's try. See how he works out this. Okay. I don't know why he's able to get around it the first time, and then the time around he falls in. Okay, I'm gonna try jumping over the hole, see what he does. No, you can't fall backwards. Why? I don't know why. The second time around. It's always the second time around that happens. Come on, you can do it. That's so weird. Yeah, it could still be improved. It's been about 50 minutes now, though. So, one last thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to. Oh, you know what? I think we're going to add this signal manipulator here onto our input, our protection not active. And we're going to switch from smooth fall to smooth rise. I'm going to plug that in and see what happens. Because I think we may be getting some conflicting movements. I'm going to try to position him like this. See how he works like that. Like that. Oh man, he's like, oh, he made it. Okay. Try that. Yeah, he's trying. No. Oh man. Why do you keep falling backwards, my dude? Let's try to add even more leniency. I feel like the best way to solve this would be to get a forwards thing so he doesn't go backwards. Oh, why? Why do you keep doing this, man? Come on, you can do it. Come on. Okay, so what is our fall protection? Down left. Down low. Ooh, okay, so we must have not hooked this up properly. Okay. You know what I want to do? I want to add another NOT gate. Instead of plugging in directly to our old NOT gate, we're going to plug into a new one with our extra raycasts. I know I'm dragging this out like way too long, but I just really want to try to get this as good as possible for you guys before I end this off, because I was extremely unhappy with the behavior we had. Oh, there we go. Okay, that seemed to have helped quite a bit. So let me go ahead and hop into play. Try to get him to do the same thing that we had him falling on before. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. Okay, I'm happy with this. I hope you are. It's been about 55 minutes. I don't know how much I can slim it down, but thank you all very much for watching. Hopefully you can get that shooter AI tutorial up within a day or maybe two. If I'm not able to find a solution to aiming up and down, probably 2 or 3. But yeah, I hope you all have a great day. And please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye. Bye.